Hey guys, Jaggy here. So in the actual live stream, we never got to talk about the lineups because we had everything set up right as the race started. So I'm going to be talking about the lineups as if it were live. So for Chef Stallion, we have Bran, Jed, Sapphire, Luke Jur, and Act. And for Eternal Midnight, we have Alex, Casper, Veraith, Verly, and Serena. So if we take a look at Chef Stallion, they're going to be valuing the bagging department a little more than the running department today because they're going to have Act bagging instead of running. And Act has been one of their more solid runners this season. I do think that the most ideal lineup Chef Stallion could pull out with Act bagging is having Roy come in for Jed, as Roy has actually been a standout runner so far this season. He used to be known to be a very good bagger and an okay runner, but he's been exceeding expectations this season. Unfortunately, they're not going to be playing him today. That's where Jed comes in. We're most likely going to be seeing Luke and Sapphire run for CS, but Jed is not really known to be that strong of a schlagger, though. That's more of where Bran's going to come in. Bran is known to be a very good troller. So I do think the key for CS here is Jed's going to have to be on his day in the running department today, because Bran is most likely going to play the mid-pack role. He will run some races, though. He's not a bad runner. He has improved in running as of late. So expect Bran to run a few races, but Jed's going to have to hold his own too in the running department because Bran is the main schlagger of this team. As for Eternal Midnight, I do like this lineup a lot because there aren't really any set roles for this team. None of the players really have a role like a runner, schlagger, and whatnot. Any player can play any role really, except for Alex. He's pretty much a front runner, like by heart. He's going to be up there almost every single race without fail. And even if he's in the back, he's going to find a way to get back up there because that's how much of a dog that he is. Casper has also been a very strong runner this season. He's actually been exceeding expectations. Before the season started, he was known to be a decent runner for the division, but in the last few weeks of the season, as well as the semifinals, he's been playing out of his skin. He's been running and keeping his top spots very effective, actually. Casper has had some good performances as of late, especially against Giro Jihad in the semifinals, even pulling out an absolutely clutch GP3, scoring 52 and helping his team get the win. So Casper's definitely going to help Alex in the running department. I do think Casper and Alex is going to be very, very strong, and Casper and Alex could very well outpower the duo of Luke Jur and Sapphire. It's going to be a very interesting battle between those two pairs. Verly is up and down. It's going to be interesting to see how he does. He's a very experienced player. I don't think he's going to lie down. If he gets a couple of bad races, I don't think he's going to be one to keep letting it affect him. I know he's one of the people that tilts more in this lineup. Casper is also that way. He does tend to tilt as well. But Verly tends to keep his composure even when he does get tilted and even when things don't go his way. He's slightly tilted, but not to a point where he's going to keep playing poorly. So expect Verly to come through with his experience that he has. And Veraith, in the beginning of the season, we thought that Veraith was going to be one of their main runners, but he's actually been honing more of a mid-pack role. He's sort of like Bran. He's very, very good at stop trolling. He does have quite the experience in the trolling department, actually. So expect Veraith to give Eternal Midnight the breaks, as well as Bran giving Chef Stallion the breaks. The bagging battle is definitely going to go to Act here. I do think he has more experience than Serena. Overall, though, it's going to be a very hard match to predict, and it's going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top.
Alright, so kind of getting into it right away, we apologize, we've had some technical difficulties. We have most of EM trailing behind Bran. Bran the only one up here for Chef Stallion's, and assuming that EM is getting those boxes, they're probably going to be able to take the gap and overtake his first place here.
A good shot coming in here for CS that'll at least slow them down a little bit. I don't know if Derek's going to make it to the line and be able to actually outrun him now. But oh, a nice slag there from Bran and a good hold for top two.
He didn't want Derek to draft, and so he was able to turn, and then they both get top two. Also, that shock was a killer. It TS like 3 of EM at that last mushroom.
And Verate's the only one who survived, so that's a really good play coming out for CS to start this one off for us.
Man. So it's like
Top 2-5.
2-5 for CS. I think Serena did get the bill, seeing at the end he was in the bill. Which is kind of unfortunate. MG is a track where shock is so powerful. It's just, there's nothing you can really do.
Especially if you're a team that just does not have a mega there when you're 2, 3, 4. I think they also had 5th as well, and they were able to bill up and dodge.
So if you're CS here, they're top 2-5. Obviously they don't have 4th place. So what would they be going for?
I think you have the potential to go something like a Maple. You could even go something more like a little mid-rangey like Koopa Cape. Otherwise, you could still do something like TF and just have first swerve, and then you can still allow 5th to be able to draft up as well. I mean, I think you want to like try to like take advantage of the tracks that you have opportunities to take advantage of. Obviously, Peach Garden's coming in here for EM, and
so if you're CS here, I want to see one of them slow down and not give EM the 8th place box. And
yeah, I want top 2 to run,
Yeah.
and then the bottom 2 spots for CS need a bag, and just make sure that they guarantee that 8th place item. And if they don't give up the 8th place item, like even if you just sit there for a while, you're just gonna let the pack run, and that's still better for CS in the long term.
I think one of EM did take the cut, but they're all surrounding him from behind, so it's just one of them up there. I still don't know these me names, so I'm just gonna refer to them as
as what they are.
Mhm.
That's fine. Yeah.
So at this point in time, the baggers are very close in the battle. One did hit the chain chomp, kind of showing that he probably had the bullet bill. And
We're gonna
we'll
see
see who
who's
it is.
way ahead right now.
Yeah.
And EM's got a good chance on the shock right here.
Yeah, Serena probably will be pulling it, and on a track like this, it's huge. This is another big shocker.
I see what you did there. But no, you're correct. Shock is very prevalent here, and even the most predictable shocks here are just so strong because of the course layout. So a mega here is really good though. I like the slowdown here from
Yes.
Brand. This is really good.
They're
Just
all behind
really,
him.
Try to force out some dodges or like get some squish. Like, yep, I really like this play. Got at least one.
Both of them. Oh my gosh. Just giving
So-
second and third such a giant lead. First
Yeah,
and second.
I think Brand should stop here entirely and just like put on the brakes.
Remember, we did see Serena winning the bagging battle, so there probably is a shock in play. Although they probably wouldn't have any dodges regardless. Derek
They
coming
have
out of the
one,
cut.
So
Yeah.
I guess they don't have it because they definitely should have shocked there if they did, unless he called that he chained another one. He chained a blooper, so he definitely doesn't have another dodge right now. So I guess Serena doesn't have it here.
If someone does have it, we're probably going to be seeing a last set shock, maybe like shocking in the boxes. But like you said, I think the play
If
would
it's
have been earlier.
yeah, if CS does have it, then they would probably use it here for a shock red. But it does not appear that anyone has it.
He's going to be able to red him if he passes. Ooh.
Okay,
It's the
so
late
I
truth.
assume it's top 2-5 again for CS. So again, another solid race coming from them.
So yeah, another top 2-5 from CS. And they also got 8th. So good point brought up. This is a CS needs 1 win and EM needs 2. CS being the top seed. So if CS takes this match, the finals is theirs.
Yep. So that means that's just a lot more pressure on EM that they're gonna have to perform, and already digging themselves an early hole is not where you want to be. So we're going to have to see EM pick it up quickly.
I feel like in GP1 though, it doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously you don't want to have
GP1 sets the tone though, and that's
you don't
gonna
wanna fall too far
dictate.
behind.
Yeah, I mean it's really more like the last 2 races that matter for GP1 because that sets you up for the next GP and
Kind of sets the mood in the Discord call and all that as well.
exactly.
A lot of times. So DDR coming out. So CS did have 8th place, so I'd assume they're gonna be going for that wide box, and this is such a good pick for CS actually. Right away, EM pulling a TC, just gonna be taking it through the cut, maybe trying to pass it to top 2, trying to interfere.
And
with
they
those
do get the
spots.
pass, so that's good. And CS goes down, so breaking into the top 2 right there. A really late throw on that bomb.
I don't like that. He should have held. He got some random.
He should have.
snipe on someone.
I think he should have thrown it earlier too, or gone for the the stairs here.
So this POW could severely mess up EM if he holds it long enough. He can target POW them either on the next wall glitch or like a little bit before then. Oh, that red coming out of nowhere though, kind of like a little ninja red. Yeah, back in 8th place. It looks like he is holding the POW, so maybe his team is holding dodges or the bill or something.
Okay, little call there. Blooper chain. So for those who are knowing more about Bran, he's a big Splatoon guy, so he's got the splat going live right now.
I like it. Someone ought to make a texture of that.
That would be funny, actually. I'm sure Bran would love it. So
Yeah.
if anyone's a Bran fan,
Luke
So
might have a
this kind of
dodge.
tells me they might have shock because he's slowing down, and that's just teammate. So maybe they both have. Maybe he's trying to get a dodge, and CS has the shock. That would be like my only assumption right here.
The only reason why he would slow down is because Luke already has a dodge himself.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. There's the bill.
Shot comes in.
Yeah, shocking before boxes. Luke does dodge, and he finally pulls that star. Not the good timing though. Not when he wanted it.
Yeah, probably wanted that any time before that. At that point, he probably just wanted a golden or something to really kind of close the gap a little bit more. And a POW now.
He had gold and he just failed the ultra.
And once
Yeah.
again, this POW could be useful. He could target POW them last turn, and it looks like
don't-
that's what he's going for.
Yeah. But that does guarantee him 8th.
Yeah.
Well,
Derek actually not having shrooms if he takes this. Faster.
wow. 7th place did not pull shrooms or anything to take the cut. That is unfortunate there for Wraith.
Yeah, that was. I think that was. Derek still might have pulled 7th. It looked really close to the line. But yeah, we really didn't get to see much of the top spots. Bran was kind of holding the POW for most of the race. But
135.
regardless, another winner for CS. This is looking to be their GP.
Really starting to pull ahead pretty quickly here, so EM's gonna have to do something quick or this is gonna get away from them too quickly.
One thing
The
I've
gap's
noticed
gonna be
when,
too big for them to be able to close it, and especially if CS comes out on the 4th race with a win,
Yeah.
it's going to be really tough for EM to catch back up. Momentum's gonna be way out of their favor. I don't know how good EM's mentality is on coming from behind, but we'll have to see what is gonna happen because they have to make an answer here soon.
I will say, playing against EM like in the past, a lot of their like comebacks, it was the races were, if they were losing, it would be these very like explosive races. I don't really see them. I never really saw them like chipping away much at people. EM has been around for quite some
Okay.
time. I think it's definitely been more than a year at this point. But just playing them, I know like they have a lot of comeback potential, and I've seen them do it in the past.
Yeah, and the problem is that it feels like at no point EM really has too much control. They had to control at the very beginning of Mushroom Gorge, but then once Bran took first, they just never had control again.
Yeah, their biggest thing is I feel like CS is always having at least like 3 people in the front, just more contesting the top spots. And while schlagging and mid pack play can help, if all of your team is in the mid pack, it doesn't matter. It's it's irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly. So 2-3 right now here for CS, and a really poorly thrown red shell coming in for EM.
Green almost getting their first place here. I still don't know me names, but yeah, these greens right here, he's gonna be able to just fire them back and completely scare 4th place. That bomb
Nice.
though, oh,
Very nice bomb coming in for EM.
that was
How after and really just not good spots here for CS now.
yeah.
Just all mid spots on a track that's heavily based around very bottom spots, and then just 2 more
Yeah.
really bad items coming in for CS, and just no one is here. But it looks like they have shock.
I was gonna say this might be the time to talk about it. This
Yeah, CS definitely has shock here. I just saw Serena billing. It's still billing on the minimap. So this will have to be like this set. So they'll probably shock right here. Or they don't have any dodges. So do they go last
Brand.
set, or I have no idea. I
Are
guess
you
they're just
sure
gonna
they have
hold.
it? Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure that whoever is bagging for CS has it, and they're just gonna hold it.
And looks like that was. Ooh, okay. Looks like bunch of people died at the line. I don't really know what happened.
Yeah. So they called the shock there to just cancel CS getting hit further. So once they were spinning out, they were to cancel it just to save a spot there. So a good call overall, but I think that means EM was top 2.
And that's a good race for them to end off the GP. They may not have won the GP, but it's definitely a momentum shifter.
Oh, they definitely needed that for sure.
Yeah.
It was either 1-3 or 2-3.
Like-
Wow. Man,
Yeah,
EM can't even get one there.
I feel like just watching Bran, he's having a bad case of no dodge syndrome, where he just can't pull anything, and then the minute there is a shock, he pulls a star.
Yeah.
I feel like Act bagging. I know he has been running lately, but it's probably the smarter pick. You know, he's the more consistent bagger in the lineup. And in terms of Serena, I wouldn't mind seeing Wraith or Serena bagging, but I think Serena was definitely the right call here too. You can elaborate more on it if you want.
Yeah, so I think it comes down to their preference, and you're kind of seeing the preference of both teams, and I think they're a little different. Wraith is probably a little better of a runner than Serena, but a better bagger than Serena. So in EM's case, they're valuing the running ability from Wraith more than the bagging ability in differential between Serena and Wraith. Whereas in CS, Axe has become one of the better racers in general. He's improved so much over a short amount of time. And Act has always been one of the better baggers in the community since Coastline started. And from there, you can see that CS is really leveraging their faith in Act's ability to get the shock, and for them to be able to utilize the shock effectively. And because of that, you're seeing that they're probably having a weaker running lineup overall without Act. And the difference between their running ability is probably not that big, but the bagging differential is a lot larger between Act and the next bagger in the lineup. So
I guess Brand's not too confident in the shroom list. Regardless, he has this star in 5th, and I don't see him using this anytime soon. I mean, until he gets confirmation that the other team has it, or his team has it, we're going to be seeing this star in his inventory.
Unless he's forced to use it for one reason or another, which I don't think it's worth risking getting hit. So if Verly here pulls out reds or anything and tries to slow down, I would just start immediately and go through him.
Oh, and here it is.
The call was made. The shock is...
And they decided to do a lap 2 before the set and get EM after, and I like that because they were all like, it was all of EM after. And if they have the dodges, there's no need to hold it. Just pull the trigger on it, you know? Get a lead.
I don't like Bran going for the box there. I think he should leave that for second. Unless second is told that they have shrooms, which it looks like they do, so they're gonna let them pass. Never mind.
Yeah.
So good call coming in for CS. And right now they're holding top 3, it looks like.
Yeah, so that is Luke in first, and I think he did let him pass, so he might have a shroom here.
Yeah, he should have a shroom or something to dodge blue shell with.
Yeah.
He does.
And I assume he kind of went to the right because he didn't want to blue shell Bran, which is like a pretty good call on their part. And I think
overall,
it's a top 3.
great teamwork, great communication, and a top 3 at least coming in.
Another winner for CS. EM,
And a big one at that.
Not looking like they can contest at this point. The thing is that we do see EM. It's not like CS is just running away with it completely. We do see EM up there a lot of the time, and they're able to hold their own. But some of I feel like the plays that are being made by CS, the shocks, the schlags, it's just a little bit more than EM can handle.
I'm not surprised that we saw such an explosive race from CS here because of the way that they've been handling this war. Every single race they've taken control in one way or another, and it hasn't been huge wins, but they've all been medium-sized wins where they're just chinking away at EM, and eventually they were going to break, and we saw it here on TF, and that just opens the floodgates here for CS in terms of points. EM needs to win races.
As
Like, they don't need to make a huge change right here, but like they need to have a difference really soon, because if they're not starting to win any races, like it's not going to get any better for them.
They need something to shift in their favor. Like with every single match where one team is like falling behind really early, I always want to see the opposing, I always want to see the team kind of make a comeback. Like with EM, I want to see them make a play right now, because I don't like to see a team just falling behind with nothing to nothing to counter, you know.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I mean, the longer that they go
Lost
without
cards.
being able to win a single race, just the mental side of that is just gonna get so detrimental.
Exactly, and by GP3, they can't handle it.
Yeah, they need to come out of here being about down 40 at this point. Like they need to get the next 3 races really need to be wins, and even if they're not huge wins, if they're 5, 7, I mean just something. They need something. And
So
right
the
now
whole
they're all
room
top
took a
spots.
double. Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
room took a shortcut. EM occupying top 2 on a track like DSDS, it can work. But you definitely you're gonna want to have some people in the back getting dodges.
Nice wheelie bump in from Brand. That was really smooth.
That was a
And
very aggressive shroom. I like it.
I think that's Alex in first as
It is.
Boober, and he just only has 1 item right now because we saw the Nana dropped on the last turn. So
I don't really like that red throw. Able to avoid
Yeah.
that banana.
yeah, he could have waited, but the call for the blue is coming in. Wow, that's
blue.
risky, I think, for Brand to go there, but the lag really saves him there.
No, I mean if Alex is getting blue there, it's over. There's like nothing you can do.
Yeah, I was just talking about from the standpoint that I wouldn't have gone for that the dock there, assuming that, you know, if he hears that the blue's being called, like he stops early or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be.
So Brand has his shroom in
Oh.
third. Oh my
Nice
god, that's
bomb snipe was so good.
And he took the shroom from second place. I didn't get to catch the name, but
Verly.
yeah,
It was
that
Verly, yeah.
an EM shroom. So assuming, I
They
assume
have a
one
Shroom
team
in
has
first
a
with
tie.
the EM, so I don't know what the shock situation is, but it
Serena's
looks
still
like
chaining.
Serena just got starred or billed.
I
So
don't think there's a shock in play, and if that's the
don't
case,
think there's a
Brand's
shock
gonna
in
take the cut. Yeah,
the 1-3 for EM right now. Yep, 1-3.
this could be EM's race. Assuming Brand does not hit this back spam, this could be it. Ooh, that bomb! Good attempt from them.
Wow, and a
It's-
nice back
oh,
spam, but
man.
still 1-3 for EM. But Brand just finding a way to make the race just not go heavily in EM's favor.
In a way, that bomb throw from EM actually hurt them because it forced EM to go wide, which gave Brand the opportunity to backspam that red.
Also, because he had to slow down, they had much less reaction time to be able to actually go
Yeah.
and avoid the red as well.
That bomb, while it was a great attempt and it would have gotten them top 3 had it hit, it was also the end of them that race.
They needed to throw the bomb, but like they needed to throw the bomb shorter. They needed to make it so he didn't have the ability to see a bomb and then go and dodge it.
It's still a good race though. 1-3-5-6. That's finally a winner for EM. That's what I
Yeah,
like to see.
that's what they needed after all this time.
Yeah.
And even if EM had shock there, and even if they had a dodge, I like the no call because you just want to get some footing. You want to make sure that you guarantee a winning race. Like, even if they could have squeezed like 1 or 2 more points out of it, at that point you just need to make sure that you win the race. And I think if they did have it, that was a good call to just hold.
So CS opting for Grumble here and EM opting for Coconut Mall. I think both picks are pretty standard. The CM pick, I don't know who's 8th or who like we get in the bill. Because I know a lot of teams, CM is like they pick it for top and bottom spots. It's kind of like a DDR pick almost.
Yeah, Coconut Mall has. It's kind of like a less severe DDR. It's definitely front runnable, but if you get a good item at the very first set, you're in a position to be able to just get all the way to the first and just hold it.
Essentially, it's because streams are less overpowered on that track because there's no off-road.
Right.
That's-
I mean, there's the off-road for the shortcut, but
Yeah.
really that shortcut doesn't save you a ton of time compared to something like DDR Ultra.
But if that's the case, though, it's an even better running track.
Yeah, that's why I said less severe
Yeah.
DDR.
Banana landing on his head there. He will be able to take the cut, so he's going to be contesting for first place here. I think that's Veraith. Hi. Is that Veraith?
No, Derek is Veraith.
Oh my gosh, too many names. Anyways, yeah, he's trying to build an early lead. EM is. and
Luke's
this-
trailing a bomb, that's scary.
this could
But
be-
it scares off Veraith. I don't think Veraith noticed that. He had
But
Brand
even-
behind him because he wouldn't have dropped it on his teammate.
Even just trailing it though, it's making them go wide, which is
Oh, exactly. It's scary. And it's one of those things where you have to really be wary of your surroundings. If you notice that if he's trailing it, you know, it may just be that they have teammates around him and he wouldn't drop it on his team.
Yeah.
So Bran is just on fire with this backspam though. It's really clean to see. Just really finds ways to just constantly slow down EM and just build gaps for his team and build more avenues for them to catch back up.
While we have time, I feel like backspam is good and all, and it can be like really powerful, but just trailing is so powerful too. People get so scared, and they're forced to go wide almost every turn. And not only that, when you trail, you're able to kind of lay traps instead of backspamming. So it's a lot more, I'd say, strategic. You know.
It does give more of a mental aspect to it, and I really do enjoy trapping that way and just being able to trail, especially if you have something like a fib. Yeah, you can just like, the moment that you pull out something like a fib, the person behind you is gonna freak out.
They have to respect it.
Oh, exactly.
You're eating a fib to your face. But yeah, that is EM in first kind of gone, if I recall. So, but CS is all behind. So unless they do a late shock, this is probably going to be a CS race, or at least even at that.
This is a potential for EM right here. I'm pretty sure that is their shock.
Yeah, it looks like they shocked into boxes here. So if they pull some kind of shrooms,
like they really got anything. Oh, but that slipped. So top 2 maybe. That was close. I think it might be a top 2 for EM. I don't know if Brand's gonna hold that.
That slip drift actually killed.
Yep. Okay, so he still held it.
Another winning race for
1-3-5-6 for EM. Now the same race.
The comeback has started.
And again, even if they win the next race by 1 or 3 points,
down 31.
That is huge for EM just to be able to hold back after that top 3 on TF.
I generally like to save Grumble for like when the other team has amazing spots, but I still see the intent here. And like you said, it's kind of getting late in the war, so there might not be too many more opportunities.
Yeah, at this point you have to take what you have and just make the most of it.
Yeah, once Maple. That's interesting. I like that pick. It seems, I guess, that would make sense. But either way, getting Grumble Volcano, CS pick here. And how are they at the Rock Hop? If anyone knows.
I don't think that too many people from CS are going to be taking it. And I don't think anyone in this lineup is super consistent at it, except maybe Luke would be the only one. Yeah, normally when I've seen Jed play, he normally just drives and just does the respawn, or he goes for it and is not super consistent at it.
I think Jed's more of like a safe mid-pack player. Like he goes for a lot of schlags and isn't going to go for like the super flashy risky option.
Yeah, and that adds a lot of value for them if you're just in a villain. If you just are doing things that are not going to cause you to fail, that's big for your team if you always know that someone's going to be consistent. No, I think that was Sapphire.
Okay, yeah, so Sapphire did make Rock, so he's probably going to be in like a top 2 spot right now.
So Brain's going to keep holding this bill, letting his team touch the boxes. You see CS is right there, just spamming boxes in 10th. The other bagger is going for the strat, I think. I actually don't see the other bagger. But using this bill, and that could show a few things. That could have either been a lap 2 shock, which I doubt it, or it could have shown that the other team has it, or either team has it. So that bill being used kind of shows there's probably going to be a lap 3 shock.
And Star here is a huge pickup. The bill was good to catch up because he couldn't hold it any longer or he wouldn't have had any chance.
The star being used, that kind of makes me think that CS doesn't have it, and that maybe Derek pulled it in 9th. I think he's the bagger in 9th right now. Brandon gonna be taking this cut and does the TF strat to barely make it. Yeah, I don't think there's a shock. Misses. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Yes. I think if he would have made that startup boost, he could have potentially gotten 6th. You hate to see it.
From bottom 2, it's a good-looking race here for EM.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden, this GP was kind of all of their
turning it on a little bit after the first race of the GP. It's just been in complete control the last 3.
It started off the GP with CS, another good race, but these last 3 were pretty good. And this is what they needed to come back. Once again, though, we really didn't see the top, so yeah.
Oh no, the pink hat is Jed.
Oh yeah, so
Uber?
he did.
Well, there's two pink hats.
So he did rock.
There's Alex.
From CS,
It was,
yeah. Alex and Jed.
HEFCS. That was the guy. Yeah, so he.
HEFSTA. Yeah, that's Jed.
Yeah, so he did make rock actually. So,
Nice.
proving the doubters wrong there. He did end up keeping his top spots afterwards.
So EM starting off in top 2-4 every GP. We've already played Toad's Factory, so we won't be seeing that again, but there are a few more top 2-4 tracks they have not played. They're opting to go for BC3, and I'm actually kind of curious as to why. Maybe they know something I don't.
It could just be a comfort track for them.
Yeah, I do think, I know Jed likes that track, if I recall. Are any of them confident with the Ultra shortcut that we know of? Guess not.
I don't. I think Sapphire does it sometimes, but that would be the only one.
The thing is, everyone assumes that if there's no daisies, no one's going for it. But BC3, it is a lot easier to do. Like, it's not as hard as, like, say, BC Wii, where you almost need daisy to do it.
For EM, you'd probably see Casper going for it.
Yeah. BC3 really isn't that hard to do Ultra with Funky, and so I think it's kind of like underrated that people block it or body block it. Either way, we see one player opting for it. I think it was the person that got TC'd there. Looks like no one made it.
Yeah, I think it was Burley somehow got that TC.
It's kind of a little bit of a lag pass, but
Blue coming in.
already a 40-second blue. And I think it's
And
I think
EM
he
got
pushes
pushed
him
off too. He did.
Oh my gosh, these trolls, these schlags coming in, and just like that, I think CS is top 3.
I think you're right.
Just the looking at this gameplay, it's a lot of their runs depend on items and like schlags, and they're so strong with hitting people. Like they don't even care what kind of item they have. They're gonna use it and they're gonna hit you with it.
Cut was unblocked with a mega.
And they used it to dodge after he failed.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or unless CS just used
I
it
think
as cut prevention.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, because Cut was unblocked with a mega from EM, and then Shock was used right after, so I would assume it was CS's Shock.
Yeah,
But CS has been so solid with being able to... Ooh, this is a big stop. I don't know that this is the right call, but it does slow them down even more. Getting start off does at least force the star.
Yeah.
And it does give top 2 a little more of a break. So,
Can we just talk about how devastating that respawn is?
that's so bad.
It's bad. You can be like midway through and it sends you all the way to the back.
Ooh.
Okay, so Bagger passes TC to Bran, which could show that he had Shock, or it was just a mistake.
I think it was just a mistake. Because he did just get pushed into the wall from Serena.
If you're Bran, you're kind of out of the race. You almost have to just go for Ultra here.
You got Shroomless, at least Shroomless.
And even if he makes that, unless he dodges, it's probably not. It's
Yeah,
probably
dodge into Bill, dodge into Bill.
Okay, you're
Nope.
pushing it here.
There was a chance. Oh,
Oh, here it comes! Gets the
go,
dodge.
go, 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 go,
Is
go,
he really
go,
gonna
go.
steal spots
He's
here?
gonna get
Oh my
fourth.
God.
He's gonna get fourth. And, yeah, I think
And he
pushed him off.
bumped Casper
He
off.
does! He does! He pushes Casper!
Oh my god.
Huge plays, dude.
Just a minute ago, he was 8th, almost a
I
half a lap
I
behind.
never lost faith. I never lost faith. You doubters over here. I never lost faith.
I was a doubter. That track is so busted.
Just ask Russo. It's the worst track in the game.
Oh my gosh. And just
I
like
think he's
that,
got 3 videos on it.
because that bump off, CS wins the race. That was the play. Play of
That
the
was a
match there.
huge play.
Oh my god. I'd have to say that was a contester for play of the match. So we have another 1-4 from from CS.
I think this is the time to go RBC.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that was easily like a at least 10-point swing. Well, actually, not the bump off. The bump off was like a 6 to 8 point swing, but dodging was at least a 10-point swing.
Yeah, he went
alone.
from 8th to 4th just from that.
Yeah, the EM would have gotten 2-3-4 without the bump. But the bump actually made it so that they got 2-3 and then like 6-8. So that
Stallion,
play was good.
you were actually mistaken. They're opting for the Moonview Highway pick, and I think at this point it just comes down to preference because it either
If your
winds up
assumption is that Moonview is not going to be a huge loss if you do lose, then that's fine. If you feel like you can just secure first.
I think they figure that Brand can draft first and break away in top 2, because the draft is pretty easy in the beginning, so looks like he doesn't opt
Go
for
for
it. Okay, that's a little questionable. But
And triple greens is a big pull for Burley.
that's a good pull at that. He needs to kind of, I would almost slow down here and schlag, just to kind of.
And he does take back over first. But, I mean, if he doesn't pull triple shrooms there in 4th, followed by another shroom after that, I mean, he's just... You have EM as top 3. It's just...
It was a little lucky, but regardless, I mean...
it was a lot lucky. Yes, it happened, but, like, EM is still in a very good position to win this race.
Yeah. I think it's all going to depend on how strong Brand is at this track and, like, laying his traps. I kind of
Brand has been very good. I don't mind it, and that POW was really good for CS as well, and it does give Brand a bit of a break. But again, it's like this was very circumstantial, and I think this was a very lucky race so far for CS. I mean, without those, you know, big things from Brand and then the POW, EM is poised very well to take a huge race and just make a big dent in this difference.
Also on that note, Serena is 10th, and he's gone. CS has had to hit the car there, I believe, unless he pulled it in 9th. I think he's trying to touch boxes in 9th just to kind of see if maybe he can get a lucky shock here, but I think Serena has it. There's that blue coming in lap 3. It's going to get him on the boost panel, but he's still going to be losing first.
He still holds it.
Oh my gosh. And you got to watch out for the bomb cart truck here. Here it comes.
Good thing he went wide a little bit to grab an item.
Yeah. I really wish he would stop backstabbing. He's scaring me. What if he has a red? And at that point, EM's only hope for stealing first was sniping the bomb car. But
yeah.
I just want to say though, even though Bran every so often he does backspam at a point where he shouldn't, most of the time he is pretty safe. Like, let's just say he backspams around a corner and there's a car coming and he'll be able to protect himself if a red comes. I just love that he's so adamant to just try to get that backspam off and try to get his team like more spots rather than playing it safe.
I'm the complete opposite. I feel like when I get an item, I'm either like trailing it or holding it for like a very specific spot to back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like spamming. It feels like what's the word? Like not thought out in a way, but it works
Reckless.
for some people. And on some tracks, every turn backing, it can be deadly.
It's very aggressive back spamming. I mean, but even with his like level of aggression on it, it does come out really quickly. So it does, even though it could seem random, it's going to cause the opponent to jump. If they are jumping immediately, they'll avoid it, but they still are going to be slowing down a tremendous amount just from the sheer aggression that's coming out from it, and just constantly feeling that back spam around you alone is going to scare you enough to go slower in general.
But then you're expecting it.
But if you're expecting it, like, it's not like he's putting it around every turn. He's dropping it in the middle too, so you just never know when it's gonna come out. Unless you're tracking his items really well, you know, it's gonna be tough to deal with.
I just feel like at that point, like all you have to do is trail, so you don't even risk getting redded.
I mean, I personally would not want to risk getting redded, but I understand his thought process as well. Because if he gets that hit and they get, you know, top 2 or top 3, they pretty much have all but sealed the Division 2 finals.
Yes. At the same time, though, they're wait, what? I think the score's down.
Yeah, no, I fixed it. Don't worry.
Okay. Anyway, starting off on BCW here.
Bottom
I don't know.
3 or bottom 4 for CS already, so a good. Oh no, not bottom 4. 4 bottom 5 though.
Yeah, I didn't
for
really see what
CS.
happened to Brand, but either way,
He didn't trick on the first
uh,
part of the wavy road, and he got caught up too.
I think just watching it, Brand isn't the most consistent runner, but he definitely is good at avoiding items and playing the mid pack, which is something that a lot of teams need. So
He's also really good at hitting the other team.
yeah, like we've seen a lot of some schlags coming out for him, but um, I wouldn't suspect him being like the main runner of the lineup, and that's why we haven't seen that much besides I think Moonview and there was one other.
Mushroom Gorge.
Yeah. So he's going for these like throws. I mean, they probably not gonna hit the other team, but
I think it's
I don't-
risky to be throwing all this because of that exact reason right there.
so
And then a good trap there from EM.
so he's gonna slow down here and try to pass this TC.
But you're trying to pass it to an Australian, so it's just not going to be successful.
I was gonna point that out, yeah. Across the globe.
CS does not have shock yet, so unless they're
Gosh, look
Yeah,
at that dagger
it-
battle. It's so close.
yeah, but someone's got it, and I believe it's Serena.
Ooh, and this could be where EM turns it around, especially if Serena has it. We see
Yeah,
him
I'm
playing
pretty
ring
sure
around
Serena
the
has
rosy
it.
at that section. Look at him.
Yep, there's the shock.
Is. And what did that do? So it didn't TS anyone, and we didn't see many dodge. And oh my gosh, a 7th place TC from CS. That's actually really unlucky, especially when there's like no items in play.
But they pull a star, so there you go.
I would have liked to see Brand go for. Okay, yeah. Oh, yikes. At this point, I feel like Brand just needs to. Like if he's so far behind, he could drop a star for his team.
It's already pretty much over.
Yeah,
That's all I can really see happening.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to see something like BC3 where he comes back.
The shock though, I'm still not sure who it was, but if anything, think maybe CS shock there. They didn't have any dodges possibly and just wanted to get into boxes. That's a possibility.
but they didn't get them into boxes, which is why I believe that it was an
Yeah.
EM shock.
Okay.
And that they attempted to TS the one person that was up there for CS.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that was lap 3. I feel really bad.
Oh,
Yep.
perfect race.
And that one's going on the fridge.
Oh
Up
wow.
4-9.
At here, fridge. Check the fridge.
Check the fridge.
And just like that, it is now a super duper close going into last race.
Yeah, now it's what, like a 3 or
Single
5?
digit deficit for EM now, I
Yeah,
believe.
3 or 5, right?
Top 4-9 is a plus 31 race for anyone that doesn't know. That is huge. That's the best race you can get. EM is going to go for the
3,
Rainbow Road pick. I love that pick. I love it. So Rainbow Road, the baggers, you can't really get the shock there, and you have to take some kind of risk to get shock. So assuming they don't fail the first straightaway,
Yeah,
they could take this.
It's
They
a
could-
Yeah.
5-point lead for
And they
CS
got
now.
it. Man,
So-
my math is so good.
At this point, all they're banking on is execution.
Surviving, yeah, they have to survive. And CS, if you get a golden, you have to shroom up at the right at the midsection and take the shroom cut, and that's your gateway to breaking the top spots. And if you don't do that, you are in some trouble.
Derek is going for those swerves. He knows that he needs to not let CS wheelie there, which is
Plus
good.
on top of that, oh, and triple reds too. This is
Yeah.
good.
Oh my gosh.
So this should be at least one hit.
It looks like everyone survived. Everyone survived that first section.
Yep,
yeah,
and top 4 right now for EM.
Oh my god. Did I not say they come back with these explosive races?
They did.
Called it.
But I mean, they
Oh.
had a huge race, but they also did chip away at the last 3 races of GP2, which is what I was saying that they
Yeah.
needed to do.
So far, this
So-
isn't looking good for CS.
Nope.
Teammate Megasim, they're a bottom 2. Oh my gosh. At this point, this is what I was talking about during the track selection screen. The baggers, if they want shock, they have to go for some kind of risk.
It's
The
bottom
only item
4.
box-
It is bottom 4 right now for. Oh.
Yep.
Derek swerving down just to give a little more of a breakaway.
So what's probably going to end up happening is Act, or who's bagging for them?
Act and
Yeah.
Serena.
Act is probably going to.
Fell off.
Yeah, he's gonna take the risk and go for the 9th place shock box.
Ooh, I don't know if they're gonna, if that blue's gonna hit before.
It will. It will.
Okay.
Yeah. So at this
That
point,
was
if
close.
EM is still like top 3, they're gonna go. Act is gonna try to get the shock now, and he's gonna
There it is.
take some kind of risk. Yep. And that's because whenever the 9th place goes, the 10th place gets the other bag gets a free 10th
Looks like
place.
I think Serena just pulled it. Yep, Serena has it.
Yeah.
So this race and the war should go to EM.
Stars are
Mathematically,
aligning.
On paper, it's EM's right here, unless there's some kind of crazy bomb snipe that happens,
Or they mess up really badly by getting blued.
and that's why this track is so good to master as a team. Just this sole reason, they are in all of the control right here. But unless Brand even if he does pull some kind of dodge, EM is not. They're not stupid enough to use it if they're top spots. We don't see too much about who's in the front, but I still assume it's EM.
I think maybe Serena actually I don't know, because one of the backers ran away. Maybe they're just trying to hold top spots. It was
Yeah, I
really
think-
mixed in cannon.
Yeah, they're not gonna use it, dude.
Yeah, it's probably like 1-3-4.
They
Yeah.
could potentially use a very late shock like now, but no, we don't see it.
Oh, there it is. But
Here it
I
is,
don't think
shock and
anything
brand
really-
before set or before boost panel. That's it.
Yeah.
Will EM take the win here?
I would assume they did, because if there was no shock, they probably had top spots the whole way, and I just don't think they would have wanted to risk shocking there.
EM going for the Avail patented strat, and it looks like it paid off. If I remember correctly,
And
he
it
was
does.
like-
That's
yeah,
it.
That's it, yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
33, 36, 37. That is enough. So that is going to be a win for EM.
So it just got real. You know, in the beginning we saw CS with this giant lead. I think it was like a 50-point lead, and ever since like the middle of GP2, EM was just able to bring it back. They didn't care. Look at that. It's a +8 lead here. End of match 1. That was a great showing. That was a really close last GP.
Yeah, it just shows you the character too, because EM could have easily been demoralized, especially knowing that they were 0-2 against CS going into this match, and CS had like a pretty sizable lead, like a 40-ish point lead. So 0-2 against CS going into a GP in which you were down by about 40 or so. Very, very good result from EM to come back from that. And they, like you said, they started chipping away since GP2, but they were still down about like 30-ish, 40-ish going into GP3, and they came back.
Yeah, after BCW, all the momentum was in EM's favor, and when a team top 4s and you have one race left to make sure you hold your lead, it gets a little scary, you know, regardless of what team you are.
Yeah.
'Cause there's always that possibility, and then especially when they get their track pick, that was huge.
Mm-hmm. So for those of you guys watching through our YouTube, thank you for watching this video. Match 2 will be posted on Sunday, so be sure to stay tuned for that. On behalf of MK Boards, I'm Jaggy. See you guys next time.